There is one mistake that keeps millions of people broke for life, and you're probably making it too right now. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because no one ever told you the truth. There are levels to being broke, and most people, they're stuck somewhere in the middle, thinking they're climbing out, when they're actually sinking deeper. So buckle up, because today we're diving into the 7 levels of being broke. How they trap you, how they trick you, and how to escape before it's too late. And if you find yourself nodding along to even one of these, don't panic and just don't click away, because once you see the whole ladder, you'll finally understand how to climb it. Let's start with level 1. This is what I call innocent broke. This is you at 12 years old, broke, but it's adorable. No bills, no rent, no IRS letters. You're broke in a way that gets you sympathy. You could blow your birthday money on Pokemon cards, ice cream, Beyblades, and still sleep like a baby. You ask your parents for $20 like you're applying for a mortgage. At this stage, being broke is kind of a badge of honor. But here's the danger. If you don't mentally upgrade your relationship with money, you'll carry that same broke mindset into adulthood, just with more consequences and less forgiveness. Then we hit level 2, Clueless broke. This is where things start to feel like a setup. You've got your first job, you're finally earning money, and then it's gone. Every single time. You're like, where did my paycheck go? I only bought 1 pair of sneakers, 2 dinners out, 1 Target run, and paid off 3% of my credit card. It's called lifestyle inflation. You get $100, you spend $100. You get $500, you spend $600. You feel richer but somehow live the same. This is when the system pats you on the back with one hand and picks your pocket with the other. You sign up for a credit card just in case, and suddenly that just in case becomes just one more Uber Eats order. You're broke, but now with interest. Wait, it gets worse. Level 3 is optimistic broke. You're still broke, but now you've got hope, and that makes it feel less tragic. You tell yourself, I'm just one raise away from getting it together. You start following money gurus on Instagram. You download a budgeting app and use it once. You watch YouTube videos about how someone paid off $200,000 in student loans in 3 months by living in their car and eating canned beans. Inspiring, but you're like, I like plumbing and food that isn't from a bunker. You make plans, but nothing actually changes. Because hope without action, it's just a vibe. And the worst part is, you know better now. You still can't seem to do better. You've got a car loan, a rent payment that's 60% of your income, and somehow you've convinced yourself you deserve a weekend getaway after the week you've had. Optimistic broke is dangerous because it feels like you're making progress, but your bank account says otherwise. Smash that like button if you've ever had financial plans powered solely by vibes and iced coffee. No shame, we've all been there. Now, level 4. Buckle up. This is survival broke. This is the gut punch level. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Peter's starting to get suspicious. The rent is due. The fridge is half empty. You're doing mental math every time you swipe your card. You've got $2 in your account, and you're praying the gas tank stretches to Friday. You know exactly how much is in your bank account at all times, because there's not enough of it to forget. Every dollar has a job, and most of them are working overtime without breaks or benefits. One medical bill, one parking ticket, one busted tire, and it's game over. You're not living, you're surviving. And here's the kicker. This is often the hardest place to escape from, because when you're in survival mode, long-term thinking becomes a luxury. You're not thinking about retirement, you're thinking about ramen versus rice. And yet, society still has the audacity to say, just save more, like you're hiding a secret pile of gold bars under your mattress. Now, here's where the system really messes with you. Level 5 is functional broke. This is probably the most dangerous level because it looks fine on the outside. You've got a job, maybe even a nice one, You've got a car, a decent apartment, you might even take a vacation once a year. People think you've got it together, but secretly, you're paycheck to paycheck. You're barely treading water. You're juggling bills like a circus act. And the only reason you're okay right now is because your car didn't break down this month. Here's a wild stat. 61% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. That's not just broke, that's systemic. You're functional because you show up to work and wear a blazer, but inside, you're a financial house of cards. This level is dangerous because it feels stable until it's not. And everyone around you is doing the same thing. So it starts to feel normal. You see your coworkers financing new phones, eating lunch out every day, driving new cars, and you think, well, I guess I'm doing okay. But normal is broke, and broke got a glow up. It drinks matcha lattes and has a streaming subscription for every mood. Comment below if you've ever been broke, but looking bougie. Ready for level 6? This one's heavy. It's called trapped broke. This is when you know you're in deep, but you can't see a way out. You've got student loans that feel like a second rent. Credit cards that follow you around like an ex that won't take a hint. You hate your job, but you can't afford to quit. You dream of switching careers, maybe starting your own thing. But who's gonna pay the bills while you figure it out? Every option feels like a dead end. And the hopelessness? It's real. This is where people stop dreaming. This is where people say things like, I'm just not good with money, or I'll always be broke. Not because they want to give up, but because they're tired. Tired of fighting a game that feels rigged. And you know what? They're not wrong. The system does profit from you staying trapped. Banks love minimum payments. Your boss loves when you're too scared to leave. It's all just comfy enough to keep you from jumping, but not comfy enough to feel free. But there is one more level. And no, it's not millionaire or financial freedom, or I quit my job to travel rich. It's awake broke. This is when you're still broke, but now you see it. You see the game, you understand the traps, you realize those people flashing luxury bags on Instagram are leasing the illusion of wealth. You stop blaming yourself and start making moves, real ones. You cut the nonsense spending. You build that emergency fund $5 at a time. You start learning about investing, even if it's just $20 a month. You realize the goal isn't to look rich, it's to be free. You stop asking, what can I afford this month? And start asking, what will this cost me long term? You get strategic, and that's where real change begins. You learn how to stretch a dollar. You see that every Starbucks skipped is a share of an ETF. Every Uber ride avoided is gas in your freedom tank. Imagine this. Two people both make $60,000 a year. One spends $59,000 and flexes on the gram. The other lives on $35,000, invests the rest, and in 15 years, they own their time. Same income, different outcome. Because time in the market beats timing the market. And mindset beats income every time. But wait, here's your shareable aha moment. Being broke is not a character flaw. It's a stage, not a sentence. The final trap? Thinking once you hit awake broke, the game's over. But this isn't a ladder, it's a loop. Every time your income increases, the temptations get louder. You go from ramen to Ruth's Chris, from Target to Tesla. The lifestyle inflation doesn't go away, it just gets fancier. That's why people go from I'll save when I make more to I just need a little more forever. It never stops, unless you do. So if you're watching this and thinking, damn, I'm somewhere between functional and trapped, don't panic. That means you're aware. That means you're already climbing. Now you just need momentum. Don't try to leap 3 levels overnight. Just take the next right step. Cut one expense, read one book, make one auto transfer to savings. Momentum compounds. And if you need a reminder it's possible, let me introduce you to Ronald Reed, janitor, gas station attendant, lived in Vermont. Nothing flashy, but when he passed in 2014, he left behind over $8 million. How? He saved, he invested, he didn't flex. Meanwhile, celebrities making tens of millions go broke every year. Because it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you move. And if you've made it this far in the video, you're not just watching for entertainment. You're watching because you're done being stuck. That says everything. So here's what you do next. Drop your broke level in the comments. Be honest, help others feel less alone. Smash that like button to fight the algorithm that keeps us distracted and broke. And subscribe for more videos that won't just tell you what's wrong, but show you how to fix it. Check out more videos on the channel if you want to understand how money actually works, and how to make it work for you. Because being broke is temporary, but staying broke, that's a choice.